Do you find that every time you try to get your child to use words, they end up getting frustrated, even if you've heard your child use those words before? My name is Ming, and as a speech therapist, I've coached over 400 parents to help the kids talk. I know how hard it is when you feel like nothing's working. That's why in this video, I'll show you a simple 3-step process to get your child talking to you. And no, you don't need to teach your child to point at objects. In fact, that makes it worse. 2 years ago, a Filipino mother reached out to us. She told me her daughter was using a lot of words, but when it came to communicating, she would put her hand on her mother and pull towards the thing that she wanted. Because her mother knew she could say those words, it made her push for those words to come out. This led to a lot of frustration and the girl was shutting off. This standoff at the kitchen counter wasn't the ideal way to teach. Nothing worked. They went to ABA and speech therapy sessions, spending $600 a month in the Philippines with no results. The parents scratched their heads because their daughter obviously knew how to talk, so why won't she do it? Until we taught her to start using this 3-step process. They started to turn around. The girl started to comply, and soon she was able to speak when asked to. It turns out she didn't understand why she needed to talk. Because hand pulling was so effective, she didn't need to learn anything new. For example, talking, to get her needs and wants met. After going through this 3-step process, the girl started to speak in sentences in a matter of months.
Tell mommy what's happening. What's happening?
Lion eating.
Lion is eating. Good job.
Now let's get into the 3-step process. Number 1, find something your child wants. Number 2, give a command, something easy that you can prompt. Number 3, give the desired object or activity. Rinse and repeat over and over again. Okay, so let's get into the details. The first step, finding something your child wants. This must be something your child cannot get herself. Remember, everything that you ask your child to do is work. I'll put air quotes here. They aren't going to do it for free. If they enjoyed listening to you, they would have done so already. So, we cannot take children for granted. We must pay them accordingly. That's why when we find something your child wants, it cannot be something that is freely accessible to them at all times. There was one coaching client of ours. This mother was saying how the sessions weren't working. This was because her daughter got up, went to the fridge, opened it, and grabbed the thing that she wanted herself. Now, why would she listen when she could do it all by herself? Now, this doesn't need to be food. It can be an activity like tickling, like singing, or whatever your child likes. The main idea I want you to understand is your child can only enjoy this with you because we're pairing the good experience with you so that later on we don't need to dangle a carrot in front of the child. Your action step right now is to find 3 things in the house that you can limit access to, where your child must obtain it through interacting with you. And here you'll say, Ming, I have heard this before. Limit access, make my child ask for things, right? Which brings me to step 2, giving a command. A lot of parents start off with a difficult command, asking your child to talk. Just because your child has the words, it doesn't mean she'll perform it for you. You don't have that working relationship with your child to do it. A week ago, I spoke with a father from LA. He started laughing after I told him not to start off with words, because the scenario I described literally happened 5 minutes before our call. Remember, start off with a no-brainer task that you can prompt, meaning something you can help your child complete, so that no matter what the command was, you can complete it for your child. A good command to start off with is the open palm gesture, which is like this. This puts your child in the mood to wait because they're putting their palm out and they're waiting for the object to be placed onto their palms. And later, we can use that window to teach other things. For example, talking. Now, the next commands would be action imitation, which is one of the prelinguistic skills required for children to start talking. Now, if you want to know exactly what actions to teach, you can go to www.agesofspeech.com/course. There's a course called 0 to Words where you can learn the step-by-step instructions there. And the last step is the most important one. Give the desired object or activity. Some parents don't give it fast enough. always dragging it on and trying to extract as much language out of their children. I've heard parents adding please and thank yous to the whole routine. Don't do it because it'll destroy momentum, and more importantly, it'll destroy the relationship between you and your child. Because you should be giving small amounts of the reward so that you can do the process over and over again. We want to keep the momentum going so that we can do this as many times as possible. That's where we can increase the difficulty of our demand. Remember, we started off only with an open palm. And when we finally get to the point where we can ask your child to speak, we can give the biggest amount of reward so that they understand that talking is the fastest way to get what they want from us. We rinse and repeat the cycle for 10 to 15 minutes and keep the rewards you're using to only those sessions where it's only you and your child. Again, if you want to learn exactly how to implement this at home, you can go to www.agentsofspeech.com/course to learn from the 0 to Words course for free. And lastly, if you want to see the whole process in action, watch this video up here for a real-life case study of an Indonesian mother doing exactly what I've explained. Thank you and see you in the next video.